Good morning to you once again. Last time we were looking at measurements. We looked at the different forms of measurements, and also looked at the different instruments that we can use to determine a given measurement. And now today we are going to be looking at photographs. We are going to mainly look at what we call aerial photographs. We are going to be looking at its origin. What do they use in actually to obtain the information that may be appearing on the landscape, or that may be appearing on the environment, or on the Earth's environment. With the aerial photographs, specifically these photographs are taken using what we call airplanes, talk about air balloons, and also the drones. So they embrace the idea of using technology in order to obtain some information on the landscape. Now when we push and look at the intro, they are talking about of the aerial photographs. We are going to be seeing that there are people actually who came with the knowledge of drawing sketches of the landscape using the airplane. The most famous person is known as Felix Gaspar. That was the first person to have used the technology, and they are saying that this person, he had to capture an oblique aerial photograph of the French village. So it was around the 19th century when this man conducted that experiment. And they are saying that also in the Second World War, people used the drones and also to capture those images. That's when we are seeing how the technology or the idea of the use of photographs started developing from that time. And these things are mainly used by countries like USA, talk about Russia, and China specifically. Now we are going to see how they use these aircrafts to obtain the data. For example, they are saying that sources of information may be obtained through studying the landscape and obtain the information. So here they attach a camera onto a plane or a drone, then it is taken, or it is driven into the sky, as they also control it on the ground. Some images may be taken in the sky using the drone, but when the person capturing image is appearing to be on the ground, so for it records. After recording, the image now is captured using a controller or a person who may be at the landscape, whereas the drone may be appearing to be in the sky. Now with the case of the planes, for the aeroplane, the camera is inserted onto the plane, then the images are taken, and the controller or the person in charge to capture the information is also in the plane. That's how they use those two major instruments. And now when we push on, we are going to be looking at the characteristics of those images. How do those images try to appear? When you look at the aerial photographs, they don't have what we call a skyline. That is one of the major characteristics. When you look at also the aerial, when I talk about the skyline, they don't show the clouds or the sky. What they will be showing are the images that are below the instruments that you are using to take the photos. The other thing is also about images. The images appear to be thin or small in size. They appear to be small or thin in size since the person taking the image is above them. And also, the other characteristics we can talk about is that the images that are taken, we only view the tops of those images. It does not capture all the images, but what it captures is the information that is captured above it. In other words, they just capture the top of the buildings or trees. Then the other thing is that areas associated with the water bodies and rivers, the color of those images may appear thick or dark in color. So the images or water bodies like rivers and lakes, they will be appearing to be in black in color, as we are trying to see here. Here they are saying that partly because they are cheaper, but they also partly contract the black, white, gray, and makes it easier to identify the features. They are saying that once they are taken, the usual colors that they will be always displaying, they should be black in color and also white. Talk about also the gray once they are taken. When we push on, we are going to be looking at how do we get the scales of these images. In other words, how do we obtain the scale? How we can call the, it is not now the horizontal scale, it is generally now the scale. For the other side, where I have the horizontal scale on the ground photographs or maps, for it the scale is usually indicated. But now how do we come to generate the scale for these aerial photographs? So they are saying that the scale, if you want to establish the scale, you must know the distance of the photo, then you divide it by the grounded distance. So in other words, they are saying that the focal length and the altitude. So when you have the focal length, divide it by the altitude, then you'll be able to get what you call the scale. And you find out that in case you are given 1 kilometer stretches a road across or covers 5 centimeters on an air photograph, the scale can be calculated in this way. Then you get scale equals to the focal length. Now the focal length will be the 5 centimeters. Then you divide the 5 centimeters over 100 kilometer. Over 1 kilometer, which will be giving just the 5 centimeters. You divide by the 100 centimeters to give us 1 to 200 to 20,000 meters. So that's how we calculate the scale. And when we get the figures, our answer should be in a ratio format of 1 to 20. That's how they calculate the scales of those images. When we push on, we are going to be seeing another thing where they talk about the vertical